What's up, guys? Hey, welcome to the video. And today we will be doing the Manasa and Stone's HackerRank's challenge. It is an easy challenge with like a 90 or something % pass rate. So we will be doing this and probably the one that comes after it, which will be, let me find it. The grid search, which is a medium problem with a 76% pass rate and problem solving of basics. So that one shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so Manasa is out on a hike with friends. She finds a trail of stones with numbers on them. She starts following the trail and notices that any two consecutive stones' numbers differ by one of two values. Legend has it that there is a treasure trove at the end of the trail. If Manasa can guess the value of the last stone, the treasure will be hers. So we're pattern finding, okay? And then it gives us an example with literally no clarification. She finds I'm assuming there's n stones, and A and B represent the two possible differences. What a thing. Bro. Chest Pain by Malcolm Todd, baby. That shit's chef's kiss. You know, she starts with a 0 stone not included in her count. The permutations of differences for the two stones are 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, or 3, 3. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Looking at each scenario, the stones might have... So it seems they start with a 0 and a 2, and I'm assuming that's what the N is here. The number of non-zero stones found. The second line contains A. One possible difference B. Okay, so N is the number of non-zero stones. Brother man, not quite understanding this. So that question I did not believe was very clear as to what it was asking me. So we will be looking at a different one, we will be asking for more clarification. Manasa is following a trail of stones. The stones have numbers on them. The difference between the numbers of any two consecutive stones can only be one of the following two values, A or B. She starts at stone 0. The stone doesn't count towards the total number of stones. There are n stones on the trail that she must step on. Each step between stones can have a difference of either A or B. All the possible values of the last stone. Okay, so do the stones themselves have values? Because it keeps saying difference, but like, why say difference unless there's an original value? Since each step can have a difference of A equals 2 or B equals 3, the possible combinations of the differences for stone 2. Okay, stone 2, because there's stone 0, there's stone 1, and there's stone 2. So is it really talking about true stone 2 here? Because I don't know. 2 or 3, the possible combination of differences. Okay. Well, assuming we're starting at 0 and we're iterating twice, you could, in theory, have 4. Dude, this is literally so boof as this is boof as fuck, dude. No. Okay, this right here, this is starting to make more sense. Okay, it'd be nice to have some JavaScript sets right now because JavaScript sets are actually they're ordered. Here is what I'm thinking, homie. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's an upper bound, there's a lower bound, okay? And I'm thinking there's a minimum step between all of those numbers. So, and if I'm not mistaken, you know what, let's just try this. I think I've got this down. I think I literally just comprehended this. I understand it now. So, step is going to be equal to B minus A, hopefully. I'm just going to set it to the absolute, because who knows what the hell this is going to be. Lower bound is equal to... Turning my feet can't fall out of bed, I need... Alright, so that's a lower bound, and there's an upper bound. And I kind of miss being in school and being surrounded by people. This is, you know, I liked school, but I only liked one portion of my entire school career. I will talk about that here in a minute. So, while is less than upper bound, stone value, no, lower bound, plus step. But I could also probably just start it with like this. I love. Perms. Is it a list? Yep. Append stone value. And you're going to return perms. Let's give this a shot. I'm kind of curious because this is literally just a guess that this could potentially be a thing. I think a good guess at least. An educated guess. Yeah! Listen, employer, if you are watching this video, I might be doing random shit. I might look immature. I might say things you don't agree with or don't appreciate or make me look a certain way. I'm literally sitting in my house right now, completely alone, making a YouTube video that's going to get 3 views. I really don't care all that much what I say. This is a resume builder. And that is, so I pretty much don't care. I don't expect you to watch like any of this, but if you did for some ungodly reason, forgive me for cussing and for being off the hinges a little bit. This is kind of funny. So these are actually both correct, except this is -2. Yeah, -2, and this is -100. So that's a curious thing, but it looks like I made a good prediction there. We can't fall out of bed, I know. Let it go, I'll stay here instead. My symptoms of... Okay, so now that I'm looking at this, I don't think that I actually add the, I should probably append the upper bound, because the upper bound will be part of the thing. But it's honestly pretty nice to see that I'm, like, ridiculously close already, like, with, like, just my first attempt. Yeah. So this should fix at least a little bit. How close? So, we get 2, 3, 4, 5. So, now this is not good. This means that the lower bound is not accurate. And it looks like it screws with us for the rest of the problem. So, I'm kind of curious. I don't understand why... Is it because the lower bound might not always be the lower bound? Oh my god, alright, fine. It doesn't explicitly say... Okay, yeah, it doesn't explicitly say that A will ever be greater than B. If A is greater than B, then the upper bound... Oh my god. This is kind of one of those points where I wish Python had like the different scoping options. Yep. Probably should have done the opposite first, because then I wouldn't have had to modify this. And it doesn't also say that A won't ever equal B. But even if it did, it should be like literally an identical scenario. Alright. And while we're at it, I want to console log some of this stuff. I like how I say console log instead of print, even though console log is the only place I've ever seen, JavaScript, the only place I've ever seen it used. upper bound. So it's very important that we get the upper and lower bounds correct. So this is telling us we're between 3 and 6. That's wrong. No, that's right. Okay. So there are 3 stones. I am saying 3 to 6, but that's not what it's saying. Okay, this is totally different problems. Is it? Okay, well, if I subtract... Alright, so the upper bound could be this. I can do that right. Okay. That was a weird thing. Something about how the first stone starts off at 0. The lower bound is, you know, you saw what I did. I added these modifiers to it. So I would say we crushed that. I think that I came up to a solution pretty quickly. The only thing that took me as long as it did was the fact that there was that weird one thing with how the bounds are calculated. Alright. The grid search. What is this? Symptoms of sorrow and dread. The pattern begins at the second row in the third column of the grid and continues in the following 2 rows. The pattern is said to be present in a grid. Given an array of strings of digits, try to find the occurrence of a given pattern of digits. And the input... Hello! And we are back, and we are now printing the input that they give us, because it is very unclear what they want us to do. So, grid, I assume is what G stands for, and they also give us a pattern, I assume. So now it's time for us to understand a few things about the nature of this problem. Remy, buddy, you're gonna have to move your fat ass. Well, so far I'm a huge non-fan of this problem. But, you know what? Let's rock with the cards that we were dealt. Let's see. Alright, they're kind enough to at least split this grid into its several rows. And leave it in string form, which does us some justice. So, what we're going to say is we're going to say for I in range, and we're going to say from 0 until, well, we're going to want to go to G, length of G. So we're going to do this minus the length of P. And we're going to do this because you won't be able to pattern match, assuming that the patterns basically form like squares or whatever. Well, not necessarily squares, but rectangles. If a pattern started, for example, right here, you can pretty guarantee say that it's not going to continue. Like you won't find a pattern beyond that point. And So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to say, let now start index is equal to none. And we're going to say if g of I dot match. I don't actually know how to use regex patterns in this context. If re.match, the second part will be our input, the first part will be our pattern. Our pattern is going to be, well, we need to match the exact string. And we're going to go ahead and just match the first. My feet can't fall out of bed, I know. Start index is at 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're matching 1, 6, 4, 1. Which I don't see. But it also would actually probably be here. Oh, 1, 6, 4, 1. 7, 9, 4, 2, 6, 5. Okay. Alright, so here's a fun thing about that, is we actually can't even use regex patterns here because we kind of need to know the column of where it starts. So, pattern column is equal to 0, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of this, and we're going to say that if... Actually, we're going to add another for loop for j in range. This is wrong. For, oh my lord! For j in range, len g of 0. Why is that wrong? Ironically, we can kind of do the same thing here. I like how I fix something and then it just goes flat out red. Alright, buddy. I don't fucking care. Because P doesn't exist. It's probably the issue here. Alright, here I go making my program all convoluted and whatnot. I don't need to do this. You're so difficult. You know how hard it is for me to work with you? Oh, little girl. I love you. You're just a spoiled little baby. What an interesting thing. My feet can't fall out of bed, I know. What a thing that is. She just flops, like she knows she's a baby whenever I'm holding her. Yeah. Yeah, you know you're a baby. Oh, God, I just hit her head off the table. Sorry. God. Runtime error. Who could have seen that coming? My feet can't fall out of bed, I know. I think there's like an extra. There's not? Alright, come here. I gotta give you a hug and set you free because I can't work like this. No, you're getting all vicious on me now. You're getting all vicious on me now. Get out of here! Get out of here! Where isn't it defined? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, eight. 0, 1, 2, 3. And by that logic, all right, so the subtracting one thing kind of screwed me. But outside of that, it really does a pretty decent job, I'd say. Alright, so it's come to my attention that I've not been recording. Basically what I've done is I've created a separate function because it was getting a little crowded over here that basically once it matches the oh god damn it. But basically once it matches the very first pattern, it runs this to try and confirm the rest of the patterns. And it does that by taking the start row and the start column, start I and J here, and this refers to where the pattern was first matched, basically. Down here, basically, just checks to see if it can make it all the way through this. And 1 second. And otherwise, I think we just return yes. So we're not going to want to break the loop here. What we're actually going to want to do is validate the rest of the pattern, and we'll pass G, P, start I, start J. And all right. Okay. Okay, something. Nine four. First pattern matched. Start 8. So 8 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't quite get where it's getting that from. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where it's getting that. I don't get where it's getting this from. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There isn't even a 10th index. I have no idea where it's getting that from. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Matching considering row 9. Comparing number 0 against 9 at 9 at 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pattern didn't match. First pattern matched at 10 and 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Considering row 11. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, this program seems solid as long as... Alright, let's try the first one. Why? It didn't even try to run the program for the first one. It just instantly went to no. How does it manage to go the entire time without hitting a freaking loop? Nine, 505. Okay, so it occurs in the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th index. No. I'll lay here instead. Alright, so we're trying to figure out why it's not pattern matching the very first one. Because it pattern matched on the second, but not the first. First of all, let me try something. Well, I guess that's not really going to change, so I need to do that, but whatever. Alright, so the start index is going to be at 0 and at 6. And the pattern is 4 long, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's inclusive, and that would be the rest of them, so that makes sense. And then it gets to here, and it says if pattern column is greater than the length. Okay, this would print. This is not printing, so we can ignore that. If p at 0, pattern column equals g of I. All right. So need let me check the input again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Row 4. G of I. Okay, hold on. So it exits early is what happens. And that would probably be because it's out of range. 950. What would cause it to break early? Alright, well, it seems like it's exiting early. So we get to 5-0. Oh. Okay, well, if we just... Alright, well, there's a condition I could add to make this more efficient, but I don't really feel like doing it. Alright, so we passed a few test cases. Honestly, though, I think if we start commenting some stuff out, we'll get away with quite a bit. The unfortunate thing about HackerRank is that comments will take up memory and force the program to fail. Return no. Why does that become a big deal all of a sudden? That's because I don't indent this. Can I just hit pass? Well, when am I breaking the loop? Literally never? Okay, well, I don't need that then. Oh my god, and now we got indentations problems. Ugh. So one thing about Python, man, is like the indentations really get to me. Alright, well that's kind of annoying because it's still just failing test cases because it feels like it, I guess. Let me guess it's going to be some retarded ass thing. Okay, this one's doable. This one we can actually work with. It's not often they actually throw me a bone and give me something I can actually debug. Instead, they kind of just expect me to know the freaking answer for no reason off the top of my head. Alright, well, now guess what? Now I get to go ahead and uncomment all of this, and I can't even use Control-Z. Here instead with my Sodoms. Alright, so it wants us to match 12 and 34, and it would seem it doesn't match it here. So we're going to want to look for the one that considers row 2, well, row 1. Considering row 1, comparing num 5 against 3, considering row 1 again. It says that twice. Why does it say that twice? How is it possible for I to... I don't understand how that's possible. Is there 2 places where it says this? Okay. Considering row I in... Alright, so it considers I right here. G of I is 5. Hold on, let me... Yeah, it is. 5, 6, 1, 2. Oh, you know what it might be? I think I did that same BS condition. You know what, actually... I don't think the second one is BS. I think the second one's actually right. 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2. That might be why it's failing. Okay. This is the condition that's screwing me here. The second one's no. That's why I couldn't find one. You know, you would think saying no would be real easy. Considering row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pattern matched. Alright, first pattern matched at I's 8. 9 and 4, that's correct. 9, 4. Where is my else statement? Did I delete the else statement from here that I needed? I think I did. Dude, no way. I don't appreciate this at all. Test case 7, I thought is the one that we already just debugged. And it's saying no again? It's going to be on the second one. Considering row 2 and validate. Oh, wait. Oh, it's the first row, that's why. First pattern matched, start I, start J. Is that really true? 0, 1, 2, yeah. Matching the rest of the pattern, considering row 2 and validate. Comparing 3 against 3. Where does 3 come from? Why is it comparing 3 against 3? I guess it is 3. 3 and 6, is that right? It is. Pattern didn't match. And pattern didn't match, where does it say that at? Pattern didn't match, return no. When it returns no, it breaks this loop. That's one of the issues. Pattern column is out of range, huh? Where does that occur? Okay, well, pattern column should become 0 at this point. Thank God it gave me a thing to like diagnose this there. Symptoms. Patterns didn't match. Okay, but why? Oh. ¿Qué pasa?
Amigo. Puta. Oh, are you videoing?
Yeah. Sorry, honey. Yeah,
Can I
pause.
speak?
Alright, so where we at? Lost place. Oh my god. Fucking constant interruptions, man. Alright. Matched here. Matched again. No, well, they're separate things, I guess. It matched there. First pattern matched, matching the rest of the pattern. Considering row 2 and validate. Pattern didn't match. So this should have triggered another check, but it doesn't. Is that pattern column not getting updated somewhere? So what, I need to move this down? Again, it says no. Wow. First pattern match, matching the rest of the pattern, considering row 2, comparing 6 against 3, patterns didn't match. Considering row 1, first pattern matched. Pattern didn't match. GI. Matched. Okay, so it matches again. First pattern matched. Start J. 3, matching the rest of the pattern. Wait, start J is 3? Is that really right? 0, 1, 2, 3. No, it should be 4. Alright, well. 1 and 4 don't match. Well, no. Why is the start J wrong? Comparing 6 against 3. That's because it takes 2 3s index. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Alright, well, for some ungodly reason, it's 1 short. Okay, well, now we're going to do it without the test case. Pass those. All right. Well, we didn't pass a few, but it could be due to memory. So let's go ahead and see if doing this will fix it. Which, it sucks that does this because it's just a lot coming out. Why do these all have... Man, this is annoying. Honestly, it is right, though. I could technically just delete this. All right, let's take it on the process. So let's see what else. The code does not handle cases such as G or P are empty. P is larger than G, neither of these will happen. Incorrect bounds for rows, incorrect search. I'm going to trust you on this one, but I don't think it's right. So any other suggestions? All right, we're down to 2 test cases failing now. We'll get lucky and have a good test case. We do get a good test case. Holy shit. Okay. Did not anticipate that at all. What's this match? Which ones? That's why. All right. So, let's go ahead and run this. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take this solution. So let's go ahead and get an idea of why it's doing this. So rows of the grid, columns of the grid, D. For the rows of the grid minus the rows, thing plus 1. I don't quite understand how this works. All right, I get what it's doing there. What about up here, though? So what I did was right. The main difference being that it does a lot more computations than mine. So really, I don't think I was far off. You know what? I don't really feel like going through the effort to fix this. I guess I'll just talk about the thing that it did differently. So my solution fails the one test case where it's basically a bunch of ones in a row. And the reason it fails is because you could technically make a bunch of different patterns that fit what it gives you out of that. Because like if you had 10 ones and it gave you a pattern of 3 ones, then there is like, well, there's like almost, what, that's 3, I don't know, it's probably somewhere close to 7 patterns you could technically make out of that point. And mine was
finding the first match. So like if the pattern was 1, 2, it would find a 1 and then immediately look for a 2. The reason mine failed is because it would instantly find a 1, match the rest of the 1s, and if it didn't find anything, if it didn't match at that point, then you're already 3 indexes ahead, and you can't test for like the other sub pattern that you could form out of that. I don't know if that makes sense, but nobody's listening, so I don't really need to explain it clearly. So yes, if my program, instead of like finding one index, checking the rest, if it would just find the first match, look for the rest of the matches, and then do this little BS, then it would have worked. This and my solution really aren't far off from each other. I know they look pretty different, but it's mostly because of the print statements and a couple of tricks to make things look cleaner, like destructuring right here. So, what was learned here? Again, I'm probably going to have to go with nothing. I think I just built. It's like working out a muscle, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is definitely a lot more like working out a muscle than it is like actually learning things. Alright, well that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed.